Job interviews can surely keep you up all night, but instead of freaking out, how about you start thinking smartly to make sure you sell yourself like a professional? Here are the top 7 questions that are usually asked in interviews and the perfect answers for them. Number 1. Tell us about yourself. You've probably already come across this one a gazillion times in your life, and we usually take it for granted and go on babbling about ourselves. To avoid common mistakes, start by thinking about the top 3 qualities about you and put them in adjectives. Explain each one of them with authority without sounding too overconfident and cocky, and you're halfway there. Number 2. What do you think is your greatest achievement? Sure, you might have achieved a lot in your life, but stick to the things that make you stand out. You might want to think this through beforehand and focus on the things that actually made a significant change in your life or in yourself. Speak about the things that you did for the good or the things that brought a positive change in you. Adding something about social work would surely be a +1. Number 3. Tell us about your biggest weakness and strength. Learn to play with words and trap people like a negotiator. This might seem like a simple, easy-peasy question, but it can actually score for you. You can smartly link your strengths to your job by saying something like, you're good with management, or that you like things done fast and instantly, and link your weakness to something personal that might not concern your job. That way you can connect and relate to the interviewer. Don't get too comfortable though. Number 4. Where do you see yourself in X years? It's not just in job interviews that we get this question, but people here and there usually ask questions like these and we brush them off with something funny. Think about it. Where do you see yourself in the future? Answer this question positively, even if you're not in a good place currently. It would show how determined you are to improve. Make sure you don't overdo it and give unrealistic answers. Number 5. Why are you interested in our industry? Now this one might get a little technical, so make sure you do your research before showing up for the interview, because you don't want to get there without knowing the basics of your department. Usually when we're applying, there's something that excites us about the place or gets our attention, probably some big achievement of the company, or a story that might be linked to it, or simply the work environment. Whatever it is, make sure you get authentic information so they know you did your research and that you have knowledge about your workplace. Number 6. How do you evaluate success? This shouldn't be very tricky for the people who clearly see their goal and know where they belong. However, while answering for an interview, you might want to stick to an answer that indirectly benefits the brand or the company. For example, a department in the fashion industry would demand emerging talent to bring out new trends, so you can answer with something that focuses on social media, and here you might be able to pitch some of your great ideas as well. But again, you'll require prior knowledge and research, so make sure you give it some good time. Number 7. Do you have any questions for me? This is where you might get your winning shot. Usually people say no to that and get up to leave. But if you really want to score some extra points, take your time and come up with a clever question. Usually when you go for an interview, you'll end up learning some new things about the department from the minute you enter to the point where you're seated next to the interviewer. So don't hesitate in asking more about your job or about the company. It will prove that you've been paying attention throughout, so it might end up being the reason why you stand out amongst other competitors. I hope this video was useful, and best of luck in your interview.